Hello everyone! Welcome back to another 2v2 battle. I am playing as the Greenskins, being led by Azag the Slaughterer. Hey there, little dragon buddy. It's looking at us. We're trying to. My ally here is playing as the Beast. We're playing off against two dwarvish players who are now shooting artillery at us. My army here, we have a front line of gobos, just basic goblins. We have a goblin big boss riding his spider mount. We have 2 orc boys, 3 orc biggins, 4 orc boar boys. This is a group of, or the unit that I never bring, or the orc boar boys, but they have armor piercing, so I thought, why not, this is the time to use them against a dwarvish army who's going to mostly be all, armor. We also have an Arachnarok spider, 2 goblin archers, and that is my army, and of course Azag on his mount. For the Beastmen rear, we have a front line of Gorehurt with shields, 2 Gore Bulls, 2 Bestigors, a generic Beast Lord, a line of Ungor Spearmen with shields, 2 Ungor Raiders, a Brace Shaman of Beasts, and then 2 more Gore Herds with shields in reserve. For the Dwarf players, we have 4 Gyrocopters, 2 normal, and then 2 with Brimstone guns over there. For the artillery, they have a cannon, a grudge thrower, an organ gun, and then they also have a master engineer over here buffing them up. We also have a front line of miners, and then a whole lot of longbeards. These are longbeards, and then all of these are longbeards, a generic Dwarf Lord. Back here we have 2 Thunderers, another Thunderer and a crossbow, Ungrim Iron Fist, Runesmith, 2 Slayers. I don't know if I mentioned those yet, but 2 Slayers, and then 2 Hammerer groups, 1 here and then 1 over here. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So immediately, I'm going to pull my orc boar boys around, and I'm going to put them right over here to try and get a flanking on the dwarves. Meanwhile, the main army is going to be marching up and through here like this to try and join the Beastmen army. I'm not too afraid of the Gyrocopters because we have Azag on a flying mount, and that will be able to beat the Gyrocopters. My ally has summoned their Manticore, and you can see their Gyrocopters are moving back because the Ungor Raiders, and then of course the Manticore can destroy the Gyrocopters. Organ Gun is going down on these Gore Bulls. I believe the Gore Bulls get pulled back here in a little bit. I'm starting to get shots from these cannon and the grudge throwers. I threaten those Gyrocopters with Azag real quick and then pull back. I'm going to also pull back my Goblin Big Boss, who's getting a little bit ahead of the line. So this is pretty good. My goblins have attracted the fire of the siege, which is exactly what I want them to do. Because behind them is going to be our main damage with the the orc biggins and orc boys. The Arachnarok, I'm getting to the back of the line so he doesn't get focused down by all the thunderers and quarrelers that they have. And there's my orc boar boy contingent. Over here I'm casting the soul blights. Yeah, soul blight upgraded so it lasts a little bit longer. This decreases their weapon damage, their armor, and what else does it do? Their leadership. As our goblins get into the lines, they're going to be backed up here shortly by the orc boar boys. I'm sorry, by the orc boys and the orc biggins. I'm casting Aspect of the Dread Knight just to increase leadership and cause terror. Although terror isn't going to do too much against the very high leadership dwarves, but still it's something. We're getting a charge here with our orc boar boys into the miners and the cannon that they're trying to pull back. My other orc boar boys are going into the forest. They're going to be going after these thunderers right here, and then also these grudge throwers. On the charge, the orc boar boys do pretty good with a 40 charge bonus. But their basic melee attack, I believe, is 16, so after that charge bonus is done, they are pretty weak. But we are going to get into those thunderers who are trying to pull back. This is a pretty weak charge here, but they get going. And the other group is going to be getting into those thunderers shortly.
Cut their hex-spitting tongues out.
And here comes the other orc boar boys. Again, they could do pretty well against the Dowie on the charge. My Arachnarok back here is now going to be getting into the Hammerers that have been sent to fight me. There's another Soul Blight being dropped on them. The Arachnarok, I think, is right here, but we can't see it. There it is. Azag is over around somewhere fighting a Dwarf Lord right now. Oh no, the Master Engineer. He's fighting the Master Engineer over here. And trying to shut down these grudge throwers with my orc biggins getting a flank in on these miners. Let's pause so you can see the hit points here. We have routed the Thunderers. I'm getting into... I believe I get into some Quarrelers. Or already did, and they're running. Where are they? I think they're mixed in here with these Longbeards. But yeah, we're getting into the Quarrelers. We're shutting down all of their artillery. My Orc Biggins and Orc Boys are dealing with the Dwarf Lord and his Longbeard backup. Over here, the Arachnarok, of course, is trying to deal with these hammers. This is a pretty good fight for the Arachnarok. It has very high armor-piercing damage and can deal a lot of damage to the hammers. We also have some Gobos nearby to just to be there, just for funs. And again, I'm trying to take out this Master Engineer, but Azhag starts taking a lot of damage from these miners and the Master Engineer, so I'm eventually going to be pulling him out and sending him over here to cast a Wah, I believe, shortly. Meanwhile, the Gyrocopters are just doing some aerial assaults, which I'm kind of ignoring for the most part. Here comes some Orc boys supporting Azhag. My Goblins right now are just fighting, or shooting against some Hammerers. They're going to do very little damage, but over time, because they're not being threatened by anything, they're going to deal a lot of damage. I believe this is another aspect of terror that I'm dropping over here to give terror to the Beastmen units to try and break the remaining miners and Longbeards that they're fighting over there. Back there, some of my Orc War Boys are just creating terror from the units that are coming back from routing. The Dwarf Lord is now half dead fighting against these Orc Biggins and my Orc Boys. But they have done a lot of damage, backed up by the Gyrocopters. But he is mostly alone and isolated. His Longbeards are kind of close by, though. But still, he is deep into the enemy territory. There goes another Soul Blight on this group to help the Orc Biggins deal with the Longbeards. And now the Arachnarok is coming over here. Now that they have dealt with the Hammers, they're going to deal with these Longbeards.
Make no mistake, like these herbs did.
Orc Boar Boys just doing repeating charges, cycling in and out of the line of miners and Longbeards that are back over there. And Azhag should be joining this fight shortly. There he is, he's flying overhead. I had him deal some damage to the Gyrocopters, and now we're casting a Wah. And going to come down here to try and finish off the Dwarf Lord. Again, I'm just ignoring the Gyrocopters for the most part. My Goblin Big Boss, I don't know if I mentioned if I had one of those, but I do. I think I sent him against a Runesmith a while ago. Oh, no, here he is. He's over here now fighting against the Dwarf Lord as well. He was duking it out with the Runesmith at some point, I believe. But he's over here now. They're very cheap, so I usually try and bring one now since they're so inexpensive. They're not amazing, but they, they can do some damage with their poison attacks. We'll get to the Beastmen fight here in a little bit. This fight here, I believe they are finishing off some Dwarven miners that are still holding on for some reason. They're not breaking. Oh, no, Master Engineer. They have now routed the miners and are just dealing with the Master Engineer, who does not have much of a chance in that fight right there. Right here, the Dwarven Lord is now breaking and running away, leaving the Longbeards here to fight the rest of my Orc Biggins. See a Gyro Bomb or a Gyrocopter falling to its death. I sent my Arachnarok to go chase the Dwarf Lord because he does come back from rounding briefly and I want to finish off trying to kill him, so that's what's going on back there. We get a nice charge on these Longbeards from the Orc Boar Boys. And for the most part, the army is now in a rout on my side, so let's stop here and we will watch the Beastmen and what they did. Charge of the Gores. Right into the organ gun, too. You can see you trying to focus down that Gorbull. A smart choice. Gorbulls are very, very scary. Wyvern going on ahead of the army to try and take out those Gyrocopters. You can see the Thunderer fire going down. Quarrelers should be shooting at this point too. I'm not seeing their shots, but they should be shooting. And there's the Gorbel. One of the two. Another Gorbel in the back line already. You can see the Slayers, of which there are two groups going after this one Gorbel. The other group is also going after this one Gorbel. Slayers still have a bonus versus large, but man, Gorbels are still pretty strong. I don't know who wins this. I mean, it's looking like the Gorbel is taking a lot of damage here. And now also getting into the hammers. That is so much damage for this Gorbel to be absorbing. Holy crap. This Gorbel is in a slightly better position. Although now it's diving into the Correlers. A good choice. Just doing roll after roll. How much damage is this Gorbel taking? Yeah, it's getting beat down. That is, man, that's a brave Gorbel. There's the Beast Lord with their cool dreads. Brave Shaman in the back there casting the spells. Not sure what's this. Call of Violence, that's from the Beast Lord. Aspect of the Dread Knight, that's what I cast on them. You see the Bestigors in here as well. And just an all-out brawl. Manticore absorbing some of the... What is that back there? Thunderers. Check in on that Gorbel. Oh, they probably had a potion. Okay, so all that damage taken away just by one potion. Oh, Gorbels, you're so dumb. Give him some support here with the charge of my Orc Boar Boys. Did not realize these were Slayers, but I do pull these Orc Boar Boys out soon-ish when I finally realize that these are Slayers to charge them into and not just Correlers, because that is not a fight I want. Unger getting into the fun here. Looks like he's trying to make his way to the Beast Lord. Beast Lord definitely gets destroyed in a 1v1 fight against Ungrim. There goes another aspect of the Dread Knight, I believe. Yeah. Increasing their leadership, giving them terror. You can see my goblins just raining in death on these hammers. And I think also Slayers. Ooh, that Gorbel. There we go. That Gorbel's actually almost dead now. Let's take a quick break here to check out the head points of the Beastmen army. The main line of the Gores have taken quite a beating, but their reserves are now in there, I believe. Their Ungor Raiders back here, my Goblins back here. Goblins have a lot of ammunition. Like, they are very cheap, and you wouldn't think they can deal damage. Well, we'll get to that later. But yeah, it looks like their main line is taking a lot of damage here from the Dwarven Longbeards, the Hammers, the Slayers, and the Ungrim Iron Fist. Ooh, Brimstone Gun. In action right there. But the Gorbel's still up. They still have some Ungor Raiders here. Doing what they can. Dwarven infantry is tough for the Gore herds. Bestigors do a little bit better. And there are still, I believe, at least one of them up right here. I don't know if both of them are still alive or not. More Orc Boys helping some Bestigor herds over here against the Longbeards and the Thunderers. God. Now everyone's having a party around Ungrim Iron Fist and his Rune Smith. And I believe these Longbeards, are they routing? No, they're trying to come over here to help Ungrim, and they're being chased by the Ungors. There's really not much left of the dwarves at this point. Just their leader. And I guess this Longbeard group that we're about to charge into. I tried my best to spread my 4 Orc War Boys all across the battlefield to help where needed. Because again, this is a team game. You can do it like 2 individual 1v1s, but I think it's best if you try to work as a team when you can. And I also did my best to try and do cycle charges with the Orc Boys because I can't stress enough, they are not good in prolonged melee. Like, just look at their stats here. Well, they're inflated right now, but I believe it's 16 melee attack and only 22 melee defense. But a 40 charge bonus is pretty good. And now, I don't think there's really much left to fight. We just have good old Ungram. Ye old Iron Fist. Holding it down. Ungor Raiders trying to focus him down. Here comes Azag. Bastigors, Orc boyz. I'm going to cast Soul Blight, I think, on Ungram. Maybe, oh no, or maybe I cast a Wah. I think that's what I do. There goes the Wah. And then Azag's going to charge in. My Goblin Big Boss is around here somewhere as well. And there comes Azag. There's my Goblin Big Boss. And Ungram falls. Good games to my opponents and to my ally. Let's take a look at the kill count. So yeah, Orog boss, and then Kurosh and Odin for war. So our kills here, 46 on Azag, not too bad. 8 on the Goblin Big Boss, it's fine. Goblins did fine. Orc boyz did okay. They fought against Longbeards, who definitely outclassed them in melee. Orc Biggins did really well against the Longbeards, but I think that's to be expected. So the Goblin Archers, man, 38 kills and 46. They cost 375 with a 6... Sorry for the dog if you can hear it. With a 16... missile attack. But the thing is, there's 120 of them with a 16 missile attack, and if you don't threaten them, look at this is against heavy armored dwarves. I mean, maybe there's some slayers mixed in there too, but for the most part I was aiming at hammerers. That's a lot of kills against dwarves for these little like pea shooter arrows, you know, so they could do some damage. Orc boyz with the cycle charging, you can see how much damage they can deal. They can deal a lot, and they are 700, 750. Kind of pricey, but I think against just dwarf players, totally worth it. The Arachnarok got 66 kills against hammers and then was focusing on a Dwarf Lord, so I mean, not the best I've done with an Arachnarok. For Orog here, we have a lot of kills in the Gorbulls, to be expected. The Ungor Spearmen did really well. I think they came in at the end of the fight when most of the units were tired, so I think that's probably why they did as well as they did. Beast Lord, 27 kills, not bad, especially since he was dealing with Ungram through most of that. Gore Herd did about as good as I think a Goreherd can do against Longbeards. I don't have much faith in Goreherds. I think they're overpriced for what you get out of them. I don't think they're great. Bestigors fared a little bit better on the flank. I think it was on the Dwarven's right flank. They did really well over there. The Ungor Raiders didn't get to do too much. For the Dwarves, we have high amount of kills like all over the place. The Longbeard lines for both players, I believe, did really well. Yeah, look at these kills they racked up so much. Hammers, I think, did really well. This one kind of got shut down, but the other one did pretty well. Gyrocopters, these ones did exceptionally well. The Brimstone guns, not as much. I imagine they were focusing on the Gorbulls, though, for the most part. At least that's probably what I would have been shooting at for the Beastmen army. Ungram, 100 kills. Runesmith, 44 kills, which is pretty much a lot. Tons of kills for Slayers. Thunderers got shut down by my Orc boyz. And the Quarreler and this Thunderer got shut down by the Beastmen's Manticore and his Gorbulls. So what happened early on, the Longbeards from, I believe it was this player, they ran out to meet my Goblins in the open field, and they left a wide gap for my Orc boyz to just flood in the back line and instantly take out the Thunderers. So that was potentially a mistake to leave a free lane of attack for a bunch of Orc boyz to go into and to get into your back lines and shut down the Grudge Thrower and your artillery. Oh, this one still got 57 kills before it got shut down. But again, I hope you enjoyed that one, everybody. I will see you all next time. Have a good day.